Guys, today we're gonna make some sausage. I have a previous video I did on boning out Boston butt and chopping it up into seasoning, not the seasoning, but into chunks. I'll show you the Boston butt in just a bit. But first, I'm gonna focus on my grinder. I'm gonna show you the setup on this particular grinder that I use. It's a game winner, Sportsman number 12, I believe. It's an Academy grinder. I don't know if it's an Academy brand or what. I haven't seen them anyplace else, but it's a pretty good grinder. It's worked well. We've made sausage and boudin with it before. I use it to grind meat, to make ground meat for burgers and meatloaf and such, and meatballs. So it's a pretty good grinder. It's really working well. Reason I have this particular grinder is last time we went to make sausage and boudin, we're using my wife's KitchenAid mixer, and that didn't work out too well. We overheated it, thought we'd burnt it off. Fortunately, just overheated it. So I had my son run over to the local academy and pick up a grinder for me, and that's what we're doing. So I'll get to showing you the grinder. Okay, this is it here. Okay, all you're seeing really is a black mass game winner. This is the grinder broken down. Put this part on. I forget what that's called. The head. Then the worm gear that's going to bring the meat through. Cutter blade. This is what will chop the meat as it's being pushed through. The blades go out. Then they come with, this one comes with 3 plates. I'll show you the other plate later. But there's 2 plates, main plates that come with it. One is a smaller plate, and one has the larger holes. For making ground meat, this is the one I use. For making ground sausage, this is the one that I use. It's a little bit larger hole, works much better. There's a little nib at the top here, and there's a little indent here. All you have to do is just match that up there. Then take the ring. Come on. There we go. Put the ring on it, and then the tray. The only problem with the tray that I found is that it sits in here and it's kind of loose. But I may have a workaround for that. It also comes with a meat pusher, and you can store most all of the stuff inside of here, as well as the sausage horns. Okay, so you get 3 different sizes of sausage horns. I'll go over that when we get ready to use them. But that is how it comes. This pan was my dad's. Every year, my dad would have one of my uncles. For a while, it was his sister's husband, and one of my mom's brothers would actually raise the hogs. My dad would buy the hogs and get the feed. They'd raise them, and then we'd basically butcher the hogs and make sausage and boudin, hog's head cheese and gratons and cracklings, as well as, cut up pork chops and roast and everything else. One of the first jobs I got to do as a kid, after cutting cracklings, which is cutting the skin and the fat, was to help with sausage and boudin. It was one of the things I enjoyed, even when we stopped doing that, because people just, everybody had gotten older and it was a lot of work. My dad would still get pork from different places, and his garage was set up. He had an outdoor kitchen in the garage, and I would go over and we would make sausage and boudin, Hogshead cheese and cracklings and all that. And so it's one of the things I remember about doing with my dad. The grinder he had was actual meat grinder that a guy was he had bought from a guy. The guy's father was a butcher. He had a little meat market. And when my dad passed away, my older brother Ronnie got the grinder. And then when he passed away, I was hoping I'd get it, but then I found out that the grinder had died and my brother had gotten rid of it. So I was without, that meat grinder, and I'd not made sausage in a while. For a long time I worked as a butcher, so I made plenty of work. But this is the family recipe, the family style of how we made sausage from the time I was a kid. Now, I've already boned out my Boston butts. I have a video on that. I'll put a link down there, and we'll put it in the refrigerator. One of the things you want is you want the meat to be really cold, and you want the fat to be cold. If not, you are going to end up with a mess coming out of here. And I don't know about you, but I don't want a mess coming out of here. You want the meat to just come right out, shoot right out. I'm not gonna do the whole grind, show you all the whole grind. I mean, it would be just crazy. Waste of time. You'll be bored and click off, and I wouldn't blame you. But I'm gonna run the meat through the grinder twice. Like that, it gets well mixed up. If you go more than that, it kind of heats up the meat and really doesn't do much. So I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all me grinding some of the meat, and then I'll bring you back when I do the seasoning. That's the meat. And I cut them into chunks about this size. This grinder doesn't have a large throat, the part in the top here, so the chunks have to be kind of on the smaller side. So I'm going to go ahead and start grinding. Noise alert, grinder's going to kick on in just a second. Okay, I've run it through one time. Look how nice and pretty this is. Okay, now I'm going to run it through again and get more of a mixture, because I can still see, some chunks with a lot of red, not a lot of fat, and then I can see some parts where it's kind of fatty. One thing I didn't mention that you need to be aware of is when you're boning out your pork, connective tissue. You want to make sure you get as much of that sinew, silver skin. If your knife has trouble going through it, it's going to have trouble going through here. So make sure that you take as much of that out as you can, or else you're going to end up with this just getting blocked up by that. Actually, during my first grind, apparently I'd missed a couple of pieces that had that. It blocked it up. I had to stop, clean out my grinder head and my knife, and then come back and start grinding again. So just something to be aware of. You want to make sure you get that out, the sinew and whatever materials that may be in there. So if your knife has trouble going through it, you're probably going to have trouble going through here. All right, bring you back after I finish the second grind. Okay, so I've got this second grind on. It's looking rather pretty on kind of this pinkish color. Let me turn the light on. There we go. Whew. All right, like, get right. Kind of this pinkish color. That's what you want. You don't want a real white color because that means you've got too much fat. You know, when you're processing your meat, cut as much fat out as you want. Just don't go overboard. You're going to end up with a dry sausage. You need to have a pretty good mix. That's why I always, and I guess because I've been doing it so long, I just kind of know. And then when you're done, you have this nice pretty pink with there is some flecks of fat in it, but that's going to keep that sausage nice and moist. All right, now, how are we going to season this? The best thing to use, or the best thing for you to do when you're going to season your sausage is use what you like. You know, as Cajuns in my family, we never really follow recipes per se, unless it's baked goods. But for stuff like this, it's always going to be season it the way you want. The 4 seasonings that I use: salt, pepper, some granulated garlic, and granulated onion. That's all you really need. And of course, some shallots. I know shallots are a bulb, and these are green onions, but we always call them shallots. So that goes in there. That makes a very flavorful sausage. Some of these sausage I will smoke, some I won't. Some might not have salt in them because I can't get the lid open with gloves on. The reason I'm wearing gloves today is I cut the grass and did yard work yesterday, so I got small cuts in my hand, and if these seasonings get in the cuts, it's going to be quite painful. So basically all we're doing is just taking and going to put some seasonings. Again, use what you want. The nice thing is the sausage is going to have no preservatives, you know, just pork and seasonings that we put in. Now I know a lot of y'all are saying, oh God, it's Cajun, you're Cajun sausage. Why don't you have cayenne pepper? My family is from central Louisiana. We season the hell out of everything, okay? The one thing we don't, my light just died. All right, there we go. The one thing that we did never use was cayenne pepper because nobody grew it. We didn't use it. Normally everything that we eat, okay, my light keeps dying, so I'm sorry if this gets a little dark, is, you know, gonna have celery, bell pepper, onion, garlic. Okay, that's the 4 seasonings that we use in everything. Sausage, I'm not going to put celery or celery seed in it. And you put, if you like things with a lot of garlic, you put a lot of garlic. If you don't like a lot of garlic, you don't like any garlic at all, don't put it. And we're going to do some onion, granulated onion. Put that in here. Got some big chunks trying to escape. Shake that up a bit. And there's one bad thing about South Louisiana is the humidity. Your seasonings will have a tendency to clump up on you. I'm not gonna put too much of this because we're gonna have the green onion going in there. And then we're just gonna take and start mixing it up. Now we're gonna add some of our green onions in. What I don't use, I'll freeze using something else. If I use it all, I use it all. All right, so it's mixed. I am gonna make me a patty and fry it up. I'll let y'all know how it is. Almost forgot to show y'all. There's a patty, I cooked it up. I'm gonna see how the seasoning is. It's got some green onion in it. And I hit that one nail on the head. London seco linda. That's a beaucoup bon. Anybody don't like that? They got something wrong with them. They lost their cotton picking minds. That's good stuff there. Woo! Très bon Dieu. All right. So now the fun. I'm gonna stuff the sausage. I'm gonna switch pans, put the small pan up front. We'll put the big pan back here. Slide this back out. I'm going to stuff them in some casing. I got these off of eBay. Natural hog casing from Overseas Cruise Company or Cruising Company. Cruising Company? Casing Company? Oh, Overseas Casing Company. There it is. No artificial ingredients, minimally processed. Basically, they clean them, they pack them in salt, and they put them in a bag. They send them to us. Perfect for homemade gourmet sausage. Woo! Hope this was around when I processed the video. But you can see on the back, nutrition facts, 0 everything. Let me show you how we set the grinder up first. This is the other plate that comes with the grinder. This is the stuffing plate. All this does is it just sits in here, and this keeps that worm gear from coming forward. Okay, this particular grinder comes with 3 horns. Okay, the big one, that one you would use for like those big beef summer sausages, I guess, or if you have really large casings. The small one, I'm not sure what I guess if you were making breakfast links or something, but we're going to use this one that's in the middle size one. All right, and that just slips through here. Guys, if you've never made sausage before, don't be scared. It's not really that hard of an endeavor. It does take a little work, yeah, but it's not that bad. I have the grinders actually sitting on a book because this other tub was high. It was too high for the grinder. Now for the casing, I've had them soaking in a bowl of water. And basically because they're packed in salt, and I did change the water out. Okay. So what we're gonna do is take, and I'm hoping I can do this. I've never done this with gloves. I'm hoping I can do it with gloves. I might have to take the gloves off. It might be too slippery. Is you have to find the opening on the casing and then put it on the sausage horn. And guess what? Can't do it with gloves on. So we'll get rid of the gloves. And I will just have to take the chance of getting salt or pepper or something in a cut on my hand. That's okay. If one of them don't work for you, go to the other end. These casings feel kind of thick too, so that's good. They're not going to pop on us too easily. There we go. One thing I always do is I put a little water on a horn and then just gently start sliding the casing back on the horn. Try and keep it as centered as you possibly can, so you don't tear it. And you wouldn't think this little skinny thing is going to fit on that big of a piece of plastic, but it will. All right, now got the casing on there. We'll put some of my sausage mix up here and get some down the throat of my grinder. Now this particular grinder actually has a setting. It's got a 2-speed setting. One, you turn 2 clicks to the right and it will go, is for grind. 1 click and that's for stuffing. All right, now if you notice I haven't put the end, close the end up over here. That's because if you do that, then you're going to end up with a bunch of air inside your sausage. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn it. And then, now that we've got that horn filled up, there's not going to be any air. Then we're going to pull the casing forward, like so. Okay. Some people tie a knot. Some people tie a little string. I just pinch it and hold it. What I'm doing with my left hand is I'm actually kind of holding pressure on the sausage as the meat's going into the casing to fill up the casing, so you don't end up with a casing that just has a bunch of, has some sausage in it, and you could have got more in that. If it gets stuck, I can pull a little bit. And then we're at the end, so we can pinch that off, pull that. There's a little bit too much coming through here. And now we have a beautiful link of sausage. And we can we want to make links just kind of squeeze it around with your index finger and your thumb. Flip it. Same thing here. In fact, if you want to do like that, and then you just flip the middle section, and now your sausage is linked. Right, so I'm going to go ahead and finish filling these casings up, and then we'll come back and kind of finish out the video. Probably going to put some on the barbecue pit tonight. My wife wants hamburgers, but I think we're going to have some sausage too. And then we'll make a video on smoking it. All right, be back in a little bit. Hey guys, it's another day. Actually, it's 2 days later. I had apparently that patty that I cooked up and was all delicious and everything was the only spot that had salt in it, apparently. Not sure what happened. It mixed well, or something. So this morning I had to rip open all the casings that I had done, all the sausage I had made, the casings, and re-season, and cook up a couple more patties, and have my wife help me with the taste test, and we've got the salt level right. All the other spices were fine. It was just the salt. I was a little worried about putting too much salt, because you can't take it out, and I didn't have extra meat to add to it. So anyway, I've got everything remixed and re-seasoned. We're gonna go ahead and fill up some casings today and show you how that goes. All right. When you get down to where there's just a little piece of sausage, I don't know if y'all can see this, but there's just a tiny bit of casing left. You don't want to fill till it goes there. You just want to kind of slide off. Well, you got like a, I don't know, inch and a half so hanging off the end, and then I'll just take and curl my sausage around, put it in the tray, and then I'll put another casing on. One thing I'm doing with my left hand, you notice I'll hold the end of the casing, kind of pinch it a bit till I get 2 or 3 inches of sausage out where it's not going to get pushed out of the end of the casing, and then I'll come up and I'll start holding. You want to be careful not to put too much pressure. You can end up popping a casing. If you do tear a casing, all you have to do is you can stop the grinder, just pull more casing off, pinch it, and keep going, or cut it off, pinch it, however you want to do. And then at the other end of that sausage, depending on how the split is, you may have to squeeze some of the sausage out to close that casing up at the end of it. But don't get freaked out if you bust the casing. The ones I'm using are pretty good. I think I have one casing that I broke twice yesterday. So it may have just been a bad casing that had some issues. But these so far seem to be working out quite well. I'm pretty pleased with them. So I'm going to go ahead and run through the rest of this sausage. I got several more to do, and I'll bring y'all back when I'm finished running it, and we'll talk some more. Hey guys, alright, got all the sausage done, got the grinder cleaned, had some lunch, and my back is still killing me, but it's alright. So now what we're going to do is start linking up the sausage. I put a couple of sheets of wax paper down, make things a little easier, plus this tile countertop. If ever you think you want to put this in, don't, because it's a bear to clean. It's really, really hard. In fact, there are times when I want to get a pressure washer in here just to try and clean it. Okay, time to link the sausage. Back you up a little bit. You're just going to take whatever size you want to make the links, okay, about like that, and then squeeze them a little hard, yeah, and then we'll flip them around, okay, and just make your links. You know, if you want to make sure that they're all the same size, mark out something on paper or your countertop or whatever. What I'll do is when I get down to the end like this, is I'll try and kind of just pinch different areas so I kind of even it out. Okay. And I'll squeeze. I did pack these kind of tight because I was getting really low on casing. In fact, I have one piece left. And then what I'll do is I'll take a knife, I'll just cut, put that on the side, and we'll package these up, go in the freezer. Some of these I will be smoking. See those? And it is a shame that you cannot smell this. It smells so good. Some of the casings, like this one here, is about 6 foot long. So they can get quite long. If you don't feel like you can handle that long of a casing, there's no law or anything that says you can't cut that casing and use a shorter casing. So I'm just going to go ahead and start linking these up. A little cut on the casing. Now when I go to package these, I will probably cut individual links to put in packages, because trying to deal with link sausage on the grill is not easy at all. And then some I will leave. See, there's a shorter casing. They don't all come the same size, different sizes. Some of these I'm going to leave linked together so I can hang them in my smoker. This was about, I want to say 20 pounds of Boston butt that got me all these links. I just busted through right there, but it's no big deal. We'll put that on the side. I'll show you what we're going to do about that in a second. all I'm going to do is just squeeze a little bit of that out. So my regular sausage, I did make one link with cheese. I took a block of cheddar cheese and cut it up, cubed it up, took some of the meat and put it in a bowl and mixed the cheddar in with it. You can see possibly a little piece of cheddar right there, just to see how it would be. And I've seen in the store, I've seen cheddar brats, and I think it's the only one I've seen with cheddar. But I mean, you could put whatever you want in the sausage. That's the cool thing about making your own sausage is I put in here what I want, and I'm gonna put these over here. You know, it's meat that I have processed, so none of this meat has any preservatives in it. All my seasonings were just regular seasonings you get from the grocery store. There's no MSG, which I kind of have a little bit of a problem with MSG. I know a lot of people do. This is a good, healthy way to, you know, process your own food. You know, if you're doing homesteading, even if it's urban or like what we're doing, basically it's suburban homesteading. Yeah, I didn't raise the pigs myself. No way to do that here. But I just watch for the sales when certain meat products go on sale in, you know, fairly large quantities per se. I will take and purchase them and cut them up and process them. You watched before what I did with the Boston butt, boning that out, and the filet mignon when they put those on sale. I'll bring that home, cut it up. I'm waiting. Usually I'll put like a whole sirloin on sale, boneless round sirloin, round sirloin, not the sirloin steak, but the round sirloins, but yay big. And I'll make several different cuts of meat and ground meat out of that. So, you know, if you want to try and stay away from, you know, some of the processed stuff, or stay away from, you know, any preservatives and whatever, you know, it's a good way to do it. That little grinder that I used, Game Winner number 12, works perfectly for doing this stuff. It is a little tedious, especially when, you know, I'm used to a commercial grinder when I used to do this professionally, but it, you know, it can be done, and you don't have to make as much. You may just want to get one Boston butt and just make half as much. You know, Boston butt will weigh around 10 pounds, a whole one, untrimmed. Just watch for when they go on sale at your local supermarkets. One of the things is you cannot get everything into a casing. So I have some sausage meat left over. Can do a couple of different things. I can put it in a Ziploc bag or some sort of storage container and put it in the freezer, and the next time I make sausage, add that in after I've got that sausage all seasoned up and ready to go. If you really want to do something, take a little bit of this, mix it with some ground meat. Makes the most unbelievable meatballs or meatloaf or even hamburgers you've ever eaten. It just gives it a completely different flavor. It gives it a juiciness that's not a greasiness, it's a juiciness. There is a difference. But So, don't worry if you do this, and you're going to have meat left over. You're not going to be able to get everything through a casing. I mean, I probably could have got some of this through a casing and then wanted to put a link of sausage maybe this long, and then had to cut the casing. Not worried about it. I've got other things I'll do with this. So it's not going to go to waste. You could even just, if you want to make some sausage patties and fry those sausage patties up with, whatever for dinner. Could use them as breakfast sausage patties if you want. So there's many things you could do. There's no waste when you do this. The only thing I was throwing away was bones and fat. And the Boston butts I got were fairly lean, so it wasn't a whole lot of fat I was throwing away. But I've got all this sausage now that's going to go in the freezer. Some of it will be smoked, and we will have plenty of this for food for a while. And just watch when they go on sale again, and I'll make some more. So thank y'all for coming along for the ride. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Hope you learned something. If you would, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate it. Like the video, and you could share it with friends, family, people you don't even know. I really don't care. But yeah, just if you could share it, it would help me out a lot. Trying to get my channel going, so I would appreciate it. But I will catch y'all next time. Y'all have a great day. Bye. Hey guys, I'm back. Did forget to mention one thing. When you go to mix your seasonings in your sausage and your meat, add some water. Do it like a half cup at a time or so, depending on how much meat you have. It will make mixing the meat easier. The pork isn't as sticky, and most importantly, it allows some of the spices and the seasonings to dissolve, and allows them to distribute evenly through the meat. So I did want to mention that. I did forget to mention that, and I didn't show it in the video. But something I do want to show y'all. I put some on the grill, and there they are. Look delicious.